Michael Ogunremi is joining me right now as a macroeconomist and fixed income analyst at Chapel Hill, Denham. Welcome to you, Michael. Let's get started. At least the decision by the central bank was announced on Tuesday, so this is the second day into that decision. What have you been hearing from the marketplace? What have you been hearing from perhaps BDC owners and all of that? And what do you think has been the impact so far?
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy, for having me today. I would say that to start with, the pronouncement by the CBN was a shocker for everyone. I was shocked. The markets were shocked. I mean, apparently no one saw that coming. In terms of how the market has reacted to it, I mean, it's not surprising that we've had some sort of panic buying between the day before yesterday when we had that announcement and now. As at Monday, the dollar was trading, in the parallel market. It's around 503, 505 thereabouts. By yesterday, it's pegged at 525. If you look at that margin, it's over 300% spike in the rates, and I think that's really significant. For us at Chapel Hill, Denham, the fact remains that if we do not have this, if we don't have the CBN reneging on this stand, it's very likely that we might see the dollar, in the parallel market trading between 650 and 700 by year end. No. So the market has really reacted significantly. So a lot of people are concerned about the fact that if the CBN is not going to be selling dollars to the BDCs anymore, let's quickly try and go and get some now. And that demand surge has led to, the depreciation that we currently see in the market. So it's a serious one in the parallel FX market right now. Most retail consumers of FX are scared about getting FX where they need. Okay. And it sort of speaks to the fact that we might see the FX backlog, also expanding in the meantime.
Michael, of course, for everyone watching the market space would know that this kind of reaction will happen, at least in the near term. But do you think that as time goes on, at least in the middle to long term, or in the medium to long term, that the Naira will really find its value? Because with what the CBN has done now, do you think that as time goes on, there will now be a parallel rate? Because it's only Nigeria that you have where central bank is selling FX to BDCs. Do you understand what I mean? So perhaps when the banks, according to the CBN, the Apex, it has asked banks to create teller points across all their branches. So do you see or foresee a time when this is being done, Naira will find its natural value, and perhaps that's language of parallel rates will just be gone for good?
Okay, so I wouldn't like to express any pessimism, but the truth is that for the Naira to find its true value, you have to float it. That is not what the CBN is doing. What the CBN has said is they are only stopping the sale of FX to BDCs. Now, I believe that what would come out of this policy would be that the parallel market will sort of converge to a new height, and the new height in the sense that we might have, like I said earlier, the Naira playing between 650, 700 by the end of the year. So what you then have is a wider margin between the rates that you have in the IEFX window, which is considered to be the markets where the Naira sort of achieve its true value, and the parallel markets. So we'll have a wider margin between both markets. Do I see the margin, closing up, back? I don't really think so. Again, like I said, because of the fact that CBN sort of remains the biggest supplier of liquidity, dollar liquidity in the Nigerian economy. If they've decided to edge out, the BDC segment, it most likely means, and they are not going back on that policy, it most likely means that you're going to have, a pent-up rate, for the parallel markets and,
Michael, let me come in here. Let me come in here.
Markets, which of course they have also set to converge to. That gap will definitely remain there.
Michael, let me come in here and interrogate your pessimism further, in the sense that yes, the Central Bank of Nigeria is one of, or if not the major source of FX supply to the BDCs. They do that twice weekly. They give them money at a subsidized rate. And you see at the end of the day, these same BDCs involved in round tripping and some, try to mark up to make money. Other sources could be remittances, which we know that COVID has also affected, remittances into the country. The Central Bank of Nigeria also came up with a scheme, Naira for Dollar scheme. So remittances is a second source. The third source is the open market. So since the CBN is saying, hey guys, we're not going to give you guys money anymore. Anyone that needs it should go to the bank. So wouldn't it be sane or saner for Nigerians to go to the banks with appropriate documentation and seek for those FX where BDCs, where will they now be getting the monies from, except if people come from abroad and all of that? So I'm trying to understand that breach where you're saying where we will still have parallel market rates going higher, because the CBN is the major supplier of FX.
Okay, so here's the thing. The dynamics of FX in Nigeria is the fact that most Nigerians would rather approach the parallel market to get dollars. So most times what you see most retail consumers concerned about is not even really the rates, but whether they can get their FX. You understand? So there's this priority of, can I get my demand fulfilled, regardless of the rates. You understand? So if, for instance, I have, if someone, for instance, has to travel abroad and then he needs money, and then he goes to the bank, and for one reason or the other, he is unable to get dollars to travel out and treat himself, he falls back to the parallel market, right? And so because of the fact that you have this, you have consumers more concerned about getting dollars, to meet their need. What you would see is you have a surge of demand with banks currently. So when the CBN supplies, you have a lot of consumers approaching banks. But
Okay.
I do not really think that the bank will be able to meet everything. I do not think the bank will be able to meet everything. And so what comes out of that is you have some consumers still having to go back to the parallel market to source for dollar to meet their needs. Let's not also rule out the fact that
okay, my director is just talking to me in my ears. Director, I've heard you. Thank you, guys. Michael, I think I've got to, wrap up right here. I will talk some other time, and let's continue to watch the situation and see if you should continue to have that pessimism, or you're a bit cautiously optimistic. Let's see how it goes. I've been speaking with Michael Ogunremi, a macroeconomist and fixed income analyst at Chapel Hill, Denham. That's the much you can take on today's edition of the program. Please do reach us on all our social media platforms, especially YouTube, Moneyline with Nancy TV. Be the best you can be and be the change you want to see. I am Nancy Nnaji. Bye now.